It's me, Dr. Kate Sage at Intuition Wellness Center. Today, I wanted to talk to you about food intolerance testing. It's another one of those discussions that can be weirdly controversial. Some people think it's totally garbage baloney, and other people are like, it's the best test ever. And so I wanted to give you my 2 cents of when and how I use it in my clinical practice and when I absolutely do not use it. First of all, what the heck are you talking about, Dr. Kate, with this food intolerance testing? Sure. So food intolerance testing is different from what you'd get at the allergist's office. If you go and get allergy tested, they do a test called IgE. And so if you turn out to be positive for strawberries for IgE, then you may eat strawberries and you get hives, or you go into anaphylaxis, or you have this like really major strong reaction almost immediately when you eat strawberries. And so those are really good to know, but that's not an intolerance, that's an allergy. An intolerance is when they test your blood for IgG immunoglobulins against a particular food. And so what happens with these is that the symptoms are not immediate. In fact, they're called delayed. It can take up to 48 hours to get a symptom, and it may not be a super obvious symptom either. It could be like headaches or joint pain or constipation or a rash, or even just cause you to be super cranky. And so it's kind of hard to realize what you ate yesterday or 2 days ago could even be causing the rash that you or your child is suffering from today. It could be really tricky to figure those out. The reason why it's a little bit controversial is because there hasn't been a lot of testing, like studies done, as to why this works or doesn't work. And so I guess conventionally they don't necessarily believe that this is helpful. In my office, in my clinical practice, I've been using this test for more than 12 years, and I've figured out when it can be clinically helpful and when it is absolutely not. So that's what I'm sharing with you now, when it is not helpful. It is not helpful if a kid only eats a limited diet. And so if you have a kiddo that eats 5 foods and that's like all they eat, then this test is not going to work for them, because those 5 foods are going to come up as positive, and then where is that going to leave us? So for those children, what we need to do anyway is we work on healing their gut without removing their 5 foods. I can do it in a totally different way, and then we can come back and work on their diet slowly. It's not necessary to do the test for them. The second one is sort of similar. If a child has a leaky gut, or like lots of inflammation in their gut, then I'm also not going to do this test. And the reason why is because if someone has leaky gut and they do an IgG test, it's going to show positive IgG for almost all of the foods on the test. And I've literally had parents crying in the office being like, what am I going to feed my kid? There's nothing left. And so ultimately it was not helpful, not the right test. Again, we have to go back the other way and help heal the gut first. And then later, if we find that food sensitivity testing is still needed, then we'll do it at that point. But often I find it is not. And then the third time where I think it's not the most helpful thing to do is if I already see that a family is struggling to, eat healthy and get dinner on the table and kind of deal with everybody's food needs of the family and so forth, and it just seems like there's high stress around food and eating at their house. This is not going to help. I just don't really think it's a good idea to toss this in at the same time. When it is helpful is if a family has already done elimination diet and kind of played around with that and is like, I think it might have helped that when I removed corn from their diet, but I'm not sure because I wasn't 100%, but I think corn might be an issue. Then we'll do the test. And if corn comes up, then they know for sure. And then that is a win-win for everybody. The other time is if a kid has, let's say, eczema, and parents are really motivated to, because they're pretty sure that there's a food trigger to it, and they're really motivated and just want to know what the food is, then we will go ahead and do the test too, because it is a lot faster than the elimination diet. It can just give some clarity quickly. that is what I want to share with you about IgG food intolerance testing. If you want to learn more, come find me at Intuition Wellness Center and visit the website at intuitionwellness.com.